Okay, so in this week's video, what we're going to talk about is the fact that not all examples hold the same weight. More specifically, within the context of doing a double width carport on a small lot with a reduced front setback. Because I had this question come up this week from a client, and she was actually genuinely surprised, pleasantly surprised, that I'd given her the feedback that I had. She was like, I just don't understand. And I was like, you've got some damn good examples here. That's why I've been able to give such a favorable response. So in my opinion, there's probably 5 key things that I'm looking for when I'm analyzing examples for a job or a justification. First and foremost, proximity to the street. So if you've got like 5, 10, 20, a ridiculous number of examples, but they're 2 streets away, that is going to mean pretty much nothing to me. I'm not going to say nothing, but pretty much nothing. In comparison, if you've got one case right next door, oh, that's like gold standard example. I love that. Next thing that I'm looking for is like comparability. That's a new word. Comparability. There we go. I got there. So basically, are the examples that you're showing me on a similar sort of block? If you're in TBC, are they in TBC? If you're a small lot, are they a small lot? Or are they a totally different type of product and therefore subject to a totally different set of rules? Next thing I'm looking at is recency. So were they done like 50 million years ago? Again, exaggerating. But are they done, let's say, 10, 20 years ago when the rules were different? Or were they done earlier this year? If the application was done earlier this year, that is going to be gold standard and that's going to have a lot more weight to it. Next, lawfulness. There is a bucket load of unlawful work out there. Like everyone does the dodgy home reno, whether it's knowingly or unknowingly. I had one situation recently. Can't remember where it was. Was it Wilston, Windsor? Anyway, it's not relevant. One of those areas. The client came to me and she's like, I want to do this door on the front of the carport. Here's a bucket load of examples. And I went through and every single example that she'd given me was unlawful. So some of them had got approval for the carport, then they'd gone and whacked the door on afterwards. So I was like, yeah, you've done well and given me a heap of examples, but I can't use any of them because none of them were actually approved by council. And then last but not least, this leads nice and smoothly into my final point, which is the number of examples. So it's not the most important thing, but obviously if you can get me a high number of examples, particularly ones that tick all those other boxes, that's going to lift the chances higher and higher. So yeah, hopefully that gives you a bit of insight into why not all examples hold the same weight and are going to be treated equal, let's just say. If you give me an example that ticks all of those boxes, like it's right next door, was approved earlier this year, it is in a block that's comparable, you get the idea, etc., etc., I'm going to be like, boom, 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 we're up at like 90% chance of success, 95% chance of success, something like that. Throw neighbour support in there and we're 99.9% chance of success. Whereas, like I said, if you give me examples from 2 streets away, they're all dodgy home reno type jobs that aren't approved, that are on large lots when you're a small lot, etc., etc., I'm like, yeah, below 50% chance of success on this one. Sorry, guys. So I think that covers off everything I want to talk about today. As I always like to say, until next time, thanks for watching.
For all you red tape lovers out there, I have one thing to say. Well, no, actually, I've got 3. Number 1, the advice provided in these videos is general in nature. It's not site-specific. You would be a silly Billy to go and make financial decisions based on this advice without first checking with the town planner. Don't be a silly Billy. Number 2, Brisbane Town Planning is in no way linked to Brisbane City Council. The views expressed in these videos are my own, not council's. So if you don't like them, blame me, not council. Number 3, what was my number 3? Oh yeah, the views expressed in these videos are accurate at the time of recording. If you're watching this video back 10 years from now, the views may not be so accurate. That's all.